Hey, Bags.
I hope this isn't a bad time, but we need your particular skill set for something.
Nah, no worse than any other time these days.
A curious story out of America today as audio surfaced in which SIRS officers allegedly torture an American hacker traveling abroad to death. The Home Office has dismissed the audio as a fabrication. Quote, cooked up by American radicals or Russian trolls, take your pick. End quote.
I was having a chat with your mate, Richard Malik. Just a former SIRS agent and a former Albion drone talking shop. Anyway, he pointed me to this audio recording. You should give it a listen. Could be something big.
Let's hear it.
And when you got a moment, give Malik a smack across the chops for me, will you?
Do you mean there's no open investigation? Are you the police or not?
We are. And I mean it exactly the way it sounds.
My friend was a journalist. She was working on a story about SIRS kidnapping people off the street, and then she goes missing. You don't find that the slightest bit suspicious?
Look, the decision not to investigate happened way over my pay grade. Do you understand? Way over.
You're fucking in on it. Jesus Christ!
I'm hanging up.
And I'm recording this.
The journalist mentioned in that call seems to have run afoul of SIRS. And seeing as they've taken 1984 letters of dire warning and more as an instruction book, she may be in trouble.
She needs us.
Totally. Let's do it.
I've marked her last known location on your map. You should hurry, though. It was dated recently enough that SIRS might not have caught up with her yet.
Keep fucking moving. You can't win.
All units, possible suspect or suspects reported near your location.
In pursuit. I repeat, we are in pursuit.
Leave me.
Bravo 10, stand by.
Pursuing the target. Over.
Putting an end to the chase now.
What was that?
Control, target is
This is London Calling. You're listening to Buccaneer, your source for what they don't want you to.
This is where that journalist mysteriously vanished while she was looking into SIRS mysteriously vanishing people.
We should look into it.
I thought we might be able to get ahead of those Stasi wannabes at SIRS, but I'm seeing signs of a struggle. I've tagged a few pieces of evidence that I can analyze more closely if you get me some high-resolution stills.
Control, we're heading back. Over.
A notepad file is open. Looks like a journalist's. I've added a transcript to your data drive. We know she was here at least.
Thanks, Bags.
Tire tracks, left relatively recently. 24.9-inch diameter. Common size for a large chassis vehicle like a truck or a van. Someone spray-painted the security cameras.
Damn. What now?
Oh, calm down. Did you think I had you take all those photos for my invite feed? If you find the CTOS hub, I can cross-reference the stills you took with the security feed and isolate the moments before the journalist was taken. It may contain a clue.
I understand.
Found it. Here is the image just as the camera was blacked out. Notice the van in the background. The partial license plate number indicates this is a government vehicle.
Fascinating.
This confirms the journalist was most likely abducted by SIRS. You know who might know where an SIRS operative would take a questionably legally detained journalist? Another SIRS operative. I've got Malik on the line.
Can we actually trust him?
Do you have to? I suppose I might have an agenda. Then again, I might just be bored.
Yes, and?
Look closely at the paint in the security still. It's not commercial. That's Kark paint. Chemical resistant. Military. Do you remember earlier when you saved me from Albion?
Fuck you!
Come on, that was fun. Anyway, I didn't want the day to be a waste, so I installed a worm in their comms equipment that fed me, among other things, data on their supply requisitions. I just gave Bagley access to it.
Looks like Albion just ordered a crate of Kark paint in that color to the Albion Internment Center. Pushing the coordinates now.
The one key promise of capitalism that it makes to its citizens is that there will be surplus, that we will have plenty, and that's the whole logic for running society in this way, that people will have enough. And now, with these kind of huge shortages of everything, you're seeing that system collapse. It hasn't delivered on its primary promise. And I think we've really reached a situation where we have to do away with capitalism entirely. We're seeing a situation where there's shortages for the many, but for a few individuals, there's an elite who are not struggling and short of anything. So this is kind of fundamental.
This is the Albion Internment Center. That journalist who was investigating the SIRS illegal kidnapping program should be inside.
Civilians are not permitted to enter restricted Albion areas. Trespassing is punishable with a mandatory sentence of 5 years in prison.
Oh my.
This is the Albion Internment Center. That journalist who was investigating the SIRS illegal kidnapping program should be inside.
There's something over there.
Stop this! You...
Search the area. Check doors and corners. Go.
Get her out.
Thank you so much. I will go that way.
Looks like you've avoided them.
Thanks for your help and everything, but we have to keep this short. If I can't get out of this country tonight, I am colossally buggered.
Well, I'm with DedSec. How can we help?
All right then, maybe you can help. You see, SIRS found a legal loophole that's let them arrest you for anything they want. Did your butler's beagle have its hair cut by the same groomer as one of the Tone Bombers? Well, then SIRS can arrest you without a warrant, and the Snoopers Charter makes it legal.
How could they do that?
Ever since London got on CTOS, SIRS has full access to every email, every phone call, every CCTV stream, everything. When you give over that level of information to the government, the question isn't how could they do it, it's how could they not?
Christ! I'm sending you an address. Someone will meet you there with a clean passport. Best of luck to you.
Once the journalist makes it to safety, I'll make DedSec resources available to her so she can finish her story.
Excellent idea, young man.
But that's going to change. You've been listening to Buccaneer with me, Tash. Keep spreading the word and keep sharing the podcast.
Thanks for checking in, Chief. I've been sort of torn up lately. An old friend of mine got jumped the other night. I want to go visit him, but... well, you know.
I'm sorry, love.
Yeah, it was a pack of fuckers from EPAF. They knew my mate ain't from here. They kept yelling, England first, as they kicked the shit out of him.
How can we help?
I don't know.
Dear me.
It's a classic paradox. The shittier a society gets, the less willing everyone is to share it. There's been a spike in anti-immigrant violence lately, perpetrated by organized groups like the EPAF.
Christ! There must be something we can do to stop this.
The EPAF, or English Patriotic Action Front, appears to be unusually well funded and organized. They could be connected to some larger criminal enterprise.
We should take a gander.
I better run.
There's enough of everything out there for all of us. We just need the guts to take it back.
1 year ago, 3 undocumented youths were beaten to death on a high street in Chelsea. When an optic video surfaced showing the men dying at the hands of Albion guards, riots erupted, demanding justice for the Chelsea 3. Where are those Albion guards now? Join GBB tonight to learn the shocking truth.
Kennington Park. Local news reports indicate it's been occupied by a group of violent xenophobes calling themselves the English Patriotic Action Front.
You hear that? Arsehole.
Wait! We can end this here. You feel me?
Ready to help.
One interesting email on here. It seems the EPAF answers to someone calling themselves Kingfisher, who is pushing them to attack immigrants.
You don't say. Anything else?
The laptop's GPS indicates a location where Kingfisher regularly meets with at least one EPAF member. I doubt they go there to swap football stickers or pick each other's hooves.
Then let's pop by and see what we can find.
Pushing the coordinates now.
Ground for this environment really got created when we had such authoritarian politicians everywhere. Anything that threatened them or they disagreed with, they would call it disinformation. That's disinformation, that's fake news. And again, we got in a situation where nobody really believed anything. And the trouble is if you were telling the truth, it's very hard to get your message to cut through all of the noise of all of the disinformation that's there. So like, you know, you remember Out on the Edges, there was this story about when they would take a house by force, they would take any infants and they would crucify them. And that's a great, fantastic, viral story. How do you counter that story? With the truth. The only way you can counter it is by saying, no, they didn't. And of course, no one wants to spread that story. No one wants to hear that story. They want to hear the sensationalism. They want to hear how people were victims of violence when in fact they weren't. Or they were victims of insurgent forces when in fact they weren't.
The news isn't neutral, it's a battleground. Here's media researcher and academic Alfie.
The media has, of course, been perhaps the key way in which governments have controlled and influenced their populations. So, you know, totalitarian countries have typically used huge mainstream media outlets to sell one kind of news, one kind of biased news to its population. Of course, the media has always played this kind of key role in methods of state control. I think what's happening now is perhaps even more concerning, where you previously, in pre-crisis Britain, we had perhaps more diverse voices in the media, but now with the GBB, you've really only seen one brand of news and therefore only getting one truth. So people end up with a very biased and controlled idea of the reality and the world that we're actually living in. There was, of course, many concerns and many problems, but in a way there were some positive things that, like, not all information was coming from one place, and so you'd have kind of far-right media outlets developing and then left-wing media outlets developing to combat those and kind of challenge the mainstream newspapers, TV stations, radios, and make sure...
This is where an EPAF organizer had his regular meetings with Kingfisher, who seems to be pulling the EPAF's strings.
going. Aww.
Give yourself up!
Come on, out with you!
I'm taking fire!
Shots fired!
Bloody muppet! Is that the best?
Heading to last known position.
They're here somewhere.
Begin the search.
Watch it!
Hostile target.
Why do we have to meet in a police station? Makes me feel edgy.
It's good cover. If anyone sees you, they'll assume the old Bill picked you up.
Just weird to be sitting here without the old bracelets is all. So what have you got for us?
Names. It's a list of people in this neighborhood that Filament tells us will be prone to violence if provoked.
You want us to start some fights?
The bloodier the better. We want some nice, scary ultra-violence for Gran and Grandad on the evening news. Is that a problem?
How do we know this won't come back on me and mine?
Sirs wants the same thing you want.
Everyone out of the Oval and the immigrant crisis resolved. You'd be doing a public service.
Ha! A public servant. Who'd have thought, eh?
Multiple files added to the data drive. And would you look at that? Kingfisher is an SIRS officer, so they're the ones funding the EPAF.
Oh, for the love of fucking course, Sirs is behind this nonsense.
It's all here in the audio file, or you could just ask Kingfisher himself, the Met for lending him an office in this very police station.
You can't be serious. Why?
Maybe it cuts down on his commute. How should I know? Find him and take him out so we can put an end to this EPAF business.
That bleats, we shall drink up in pints. We shall never surrender.
Do you think you can conquer our Churchill?
Grill, stick, scanner, sausage, kidneys and shot.
Employing combat measures.
Come on! Get him! Suspect's injured! It's got me down!
God. Oh, God, all right. It's done.
Bloody hell! Bastard, shoot!
Reinforcements?
Stop! Kingfisher is down. That should make it harder for those xenophobic goons to get their intolerant hands on military weaponry at the very least. Wish the same could be said for Albion. On a related note, you should probably scarf her.
The Bug, nibbling away on the rotting carcass of a once-free Britain.
Yum, yum.
Hello, Bugs. This is The Bug. I'm Andy. This is Alice, and today we're going to be pretending that everything is fine. Yeah, I'm back. Yeah, that was fun. Well, that was as long as I could manage. A second and a half. A reality time now, however. And, well, finally, today, we're going to road test the latest update to the CSAVE app.
The powers that be are trying to provoke immigrant violence to justify coming down on them like a ton of pricks.
I'm open to ideas.
I've asked Malik for his analysis.
The service will bury it if you release that recording to the media, so you'll have to self-distribute. SIR's protocol says to do two things. Sow disinformation on the internet and distance themselves from the incident. Propaganda works. So no one will know what's true, and by the time the dust settles, anyone who could incriminate them will be gone.
Let's do it.
Agreed.
Done.
So, well, let's have a look at this new app. Alice, I'm sure you've got it on your phone. I mean, at first glance, well, the interface is lovely. It's so neatly designed.